behind him. In transition in all three levels, Jerron Pierre can really score the basketball. He can shoot it with range as well.
Jacksonville State under ninth-year head coach Ray Harper. He's won 152 games with the Gamecocks, 491 in his Division I head coaching career, and he has taken Jack State to its only 2 Division I NCAA tournaments in program history. Jacksonville State will be in black, Missouri in white. Our officials are Don Daly, Lucas Santos, and Shane Land. Josh Gray jumps for Missouri. Mason Nicholson for Jack State. Nicholson wins the tip and starts with a basketball.
Right away, Missouri going man-to-man as they've done through their 10 games this year. Big night for Anthony Robinson as well, guarding the basketball and guarding Jerron Pierre, as well as Tony Perkins.
Pierre around the hedge from Gray, caught on the baseline, pass tipped and stolen by Perkins.
Missouri does a great job of forcing turnovers. Great to start a game with a steal on the defensive end.
Robinson and Perkins, the primary ball handlers in this starting 5 for Missouri. Bates, the leading active scorer. Mitchell and Gray in the front court, but Missouri has a lot of balance. And Robinson stepped on the sideline. It's a Missouri turnover.
And right there, Missouri just trying to establish Mark Mitchell like they've done in most of their games. Go with their best player, try to get him to his spot. Good unselfish pass. Anthony Robinson just doesn't know where he's at in the corner.
A couple of efficient offensive teams. Jacksonville State, one of the best shooting teams in the country, but a second turnover. The Gamecocks rarely turn it over this year. That's 2 in 2 possessions. Tony Perkins to Strong, and the rebound to Nicholson.
Yeah, important for Jacksonville State to just settle in. You know, you just said it. They don't turn the ball over a lot in back-to-back turnovers. You want to get a good shot here if you can.
Cotton on the kick out. Corner 3 for Jamar Franklin, and Jack State has the first points. Mitchell has the size advantage on Brigham. Spins away from the double, left it short, rebound Pierre.
Right there, Mark Mitchell's got to go up a little bit stronger, a little bit of a fade there on that move. That's a go-to move for Mark Mitchell, but he's the better athlete, stronger, has more size. Would like to see him just go up, straight down through that contact.
Brigham listed as only 2 inches shorter than Mitchell. It looks like a wider disparity than that from here. Turnover, the 3rd already for the Gamecocks. Robinson attacks into the body, draws a foul on Corey Cotton.
It's exactly what Jacksonville State wants to do, is try to take away transition, and especially with Anthony Robinson downhill. You do not want to see that if you're Jacksonville State. Anthony Robinson has done such a great job at getting to the free throw line here in his sophomore season. He's had a breakout start to the season, but Missouri's doing a great job through the first part of this season at getting to the free throw line, and it starts with Anthony Robinson.
Look at the jump from last season to this season for Anthony Robinson. Rare miss at the line, 86% foul shooter so far this year.
And you talk about Anthony Robinson leading Mizzou in assists and in steals. I love how he starts games on the defensive side of the ball, but then you've seen the jump too with his efficiency, adding 17% to his field goal percentage. So he's been more efficient. Rare to see him miss 2 free throws.
Missouri still scoreless after more than 2 minutes. Pierre, wiggle, and he's fouled from behind by Tony Perkins on his way up. So Jacksonville State will get a couple of free throws from Pierre.
Smart play there by Pierre, too. Just a step-up ball screen, and he's got momentum. Josh Gray a little bit out of position. Low man always wins in those situations, and Pierre goes through into contact. See those broad shoulders. Pierre, strong guard, able to get to the free throw line right there.
80% foul shooter this year. Didn't play last year at Wichita State. He was a redshirt, but double-digit scorer the season prior for the Shockers. Began his career with a couple of seasons at Southern Miss. So 5-0 early lead for Jacksonville State. Of course, Missouri can make that disappear in a hurry. 4th highest scoring team in America, just a hair under 90 a game. Batted ball by Brigham. Bates has to track it down into the backcourt.
Good active hands right there by Brigham to blow up that ball screen, DHO.
Bates past Brigham. Bates has it blocked by Nicholson. Missouri still scoreless. Franklin had the opening points of the game, and here's Pierre. The big transfer addition, making up for the transfer subtraction of Kiki Tandy. In the lane, Pierre hits.
That's his game right there. That just side angle ball screen where he can kind of make reads going right to left. He can go both directions. And right there, instead of going to the rim, he pulls up, smooth stroke from mid-range.
Bates pull up, wouldn't go off glass. Josh Gray after the offensive rebound and saves it to Robinson. Mitchell, Perkins, three.
Good to see that go through the net for Tony Perkins. Great decision by Mark Mitchell, too, to drive the ball, draw two, kick out. It's a right play, right read, wide open spot up for Tony Perkins.
Took nearly 3.5 minutes, but Missouri is on the board. Just the fourth made three-pointer in 17 tries for Tony Perkins. Of course, it was kind of a stop and start beginning of the season for him with that leg injury. Franklin lost it, but a kickball is the call against Josh Gray.
Right here, you look at Pierre just coming out of a ball screen. Tough shot, is contested, but a really smooth stroke, straight up, straight down. And then right here, Mark Mitchell driving, perfect pass right in the shooting pocket. And good to see Tony Perkins knock down a three-point shot. He's been struggling to find that three-point shot. Right there, wide open, in rhythm, steps into that shot and knocks it down.
And really no choice for Jack State but to help on Mitchell like that, right? I mean, they don't have a guy who matches up well with him. Inside Hogue off the bench, misses rebound Bates.
For Jacksonville State, defensively, you're going to want Missouri to shoot three-point shots to protect that paint.
A goaltending violation on Hogue. Tony Perkins has 5 quick ones, and Missouri has cut the deficit from 7 down to 2.
And that's exactly what Coach Harper talks about with Jacksonville State, about not giving Missouri easy buckets in transition. It starts with Anthony Robinson. His ability to push pace, plays with his eyes up, and then guard to guard. Tony Perkins is a point guard, now playing the 2, runs his lane, gets ahead of the ball, and finishes.
We talked to Ray Harper this week. He said they might not send anybody to the offensive glass in this game with how good Mizzou is in transition. Just shoot it and run back.
Sometimes you got to do that when you know Missouri's going to send a lot of bodies, that bench, and you got to save that energy.
Great feed by Pierre. He also leads Jacksonville State with 4.5 assists a game, and he finds a wide open Hogue for the stop.
And all this is in the ball screen. Missouri's going to have to adjust to the ball screen right there. Pierre making great decisions, both as a scorer and as a passer.
4 points, a rebound, a couple assists for Pierre already. Perkins, another one. 7 straight, making 8 straight for Tony Perkins.
That's a great start for Tony Perkins, but right there, defender goes under the ball screen. No hand up to contest. Tony Perkins just steps back and knocks it down.
Time out of the floor. Missouri started cold. Jacksonville State went out to a 7-0 lead. Tony Perkins on his own has brought Mizzou within 1. When an offense flows through one guy like Jacksonville State's does, the caliber of Pierre, how do you approach that?
Well, I think there's a couple things. This is one. Pick up full court, apply some pressure, see if you can get some traps. And then expect Missouri to show some more blitzes, get the ball out of his hands, especially in the pick and roll. As you see right there, a trap coming, trying to get the ball out of his hands. Because Pierre is such a good scorer, but he's a playmaker on top of it as well.
We've seen Robinson and Perkins draw the assignment against Pierre early on. Pierre with 8 to shoot. Switch on to Mitchell. Pierre for 3.
He is not bothered by contests. That is a quick step back. That's a good contest, too, by Mark Mitchell. Just a better shot.
7 early points for Pierre. Perkins has all 8 for Missouri. Bates. Rebound. Who else? Jerome Pierre.
And right now for Missouri, it's important to not just settle for jump shots. Continue to attack, get to the paint, get to the free throw line, and take advantage of your size, your athleticism, and your speed.
Pierre off the side of the backboard. Mark Mitchell on the run. Mitchell sets out Bates. Extra passes. Perkins. This time off the mark, and Pierre the rebound.
These are good looks. That's an open look. Tony Perkins has been the hot hand. But it's important, too, for Missouri throughout this game to really try to establish the paint, get out and run before getting in transition when the ball's not going through from 3.
Pierre gets a high screen from Niagu. Here's Jao Itsuka inside, blocked by Mitchell. Missouri in transition where the Tigers have been so comfortable. Mitchell through 2 defenders, couldn't get it on the rim, rebounded by Hogue.
A lot of quick shots right now from Missouri. Right there, Mark Mitchell, that's a wall. There's 2 guys waiting for him. It's a quick shot. He'll probably get a better one as well.
Feels like a little frustration, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I think Missouri just trying to maybe go get the game a little bit, just having to settle back in, move the ball, beat the defense with the pass, and obviously forcing turnovers will help as well.
Robinson on the run, shuffled his feet through the contact. He'll get 2 free throws. Might have gotten away with a walk.
I was just about to say, Jacksonville State won that travel. There was some shuffling of the feet, as you said. Anthony Robinson, really good. I think the improvement you've seen with Anthony, too, is playing off head fakes, ball fakes, hesitations, and really trying to get defenses off their heels and keeping defenders off balance. Just a few steps.
Draws the foul on Corey Cotton. Good for Robinson to see a free throw go down after he had a rare 0 for 2 at the line in the early going. 86% free throw shooter this year. That was the second personal foul on Cotton. So he heads off along with Niagu. Kelron House, true freshman out of Louisville, is on for the first time for Jacksonville State. And Mason Nicholson, the big man, returns in the middle.
It's important, too, for Missouri to get to the free throw line. First nationally in free throws made so far this season with 21 per game made, and they're second in attempts at 30. That's a big number. Is getting to the free throw line. They've increased their attempts by 12. They were dead last in the SEC a year ago, so it's important for Missouri. It's a big part of what Dennis Gates really wanted to implement this season, is getting back to a team that could attack the rim, could finish at the rim. They're great from two-point field goal percentage as well, but also getting to the line, making it easier for their offense as well.
It's interesting, too, you saw that graphic, because Jacksonville State does not foul often. Ituka is fouled, and he will go to the free throw line. Jacksonville State on average called for only 13 fouls per game, 7th fewest out of all 364 teams in Division I.
Yeah, for Mizzou, too, the defense right now, obviously man-to-man, a lot of pick and roll, especially for Pierre trying to get downhill. And they are going to blitz this to get the ball out of Pierre's hands. But those rotations on the back end when you're blitzing have to be airtight, and it starts with communication. And right now, communication lacking a little bit, some breakdowns on the back end of when you're blitzing, making sure your rotations are locked in. Missouri's missing some of those assignments so far defensively.
Saw the numbers on Ituka, better than 17 points a game over his last 3. He splits the pair of free throws. First-year Gamecock coming off a couple of seasons at Wake Forest where he made just 6 total appearances because of a pair of serious knee injuries. Just working his way back into basketball shape and back into his basketball comfort level. Robinson. Bates picked up his dribble. Robinson with 6 on the timer. Robinson, step back 3. Rebound off Nicholson, out of bounds, and Missouri keeps it with 20 on the timer.
Yeah, right now a lot of ISO ball from Missouri. One ball screen, a little bit vanilla right now offensively from Missouri. Got to get back to moving the ball with the pass, make Jacksonville State's defense move and shift. And right now, just a lot of one-on-one, little ISO, and too much quick shots and perimeter shots right now from Missouri offensively.
Dennis Gates, third-year Missouri head coach, going deeper into his bench now. Marquez Warwick, the transfer from Northern Kentucky, on for the first time, and Trent Pierce, who we highlighted at the top of the show, career-high 24 Saturday against LIU, in for the first time for Missouri.
I like that from Trent Pierce right there. He just got in the game. Doesn't need to shoot a contested 3. He just got into the game, get a feel, get a touch of the ball, and get yourself going, get a sweat going before you start getting implemented on the offensive end.
Missed by Warwick, and Missouri has started cold. Just 3 of 12 from the field.
It's excellent defense right there by Anthony Robinson to take away dribble penetration without fouling.
Ituka got Pierce. Couldn't hit it. Hogue on the offensive glass, sticks it back.
Big time by Hogue right there, using his strength and physicality to get that offensive rebound and stick back. Nobody checked him out. He was able to get an offensive rebound and put back.
Foul away for the ball called against Ituka for bumping Robinson. Jacksonville State has taken a 5-point lead. Missouri still does not have a field goal from anyone not named Tony Perkins. a good problem maybe, but still a little bit of a problem, trying to whittle down and refine those rotations going into the SEC?
No question, especially when you guys got guys out, right? Caleb Grill not in the lineup, dealing with an injury. He'll be back in the lineup at some point. Obviously, Trent Burns still working his way back from a foot injury. So those are things to watch for. But the good news is the amount of production they've gotten offensively to this point with guys out. Still trying to tighten up the screws with the rotations, but it's great when you're a coach and you can look down, especially with the style that Dennis Gates wants to play with, when you look down the bench and think, wait, there's multiple guys I can put in a game. Very similar to Mike Anderson when Mike Anderson was here at Missouri.
8 to shoot for Mizzou on the baseline trigger. Bates with 5. Bates creates space in the lane, couldn't get it. Rebound Pierre. Ray Harper stole a minute for him on the bench before that under 12 timeout, but Pierre does not spend much time off the floor. 36 minutes a game early on this year.
It's a smart way to do it when you can buy a minute right before immediate timeout. That's smart decision making right there by Coach Harper.
Brigham fans out. Inside Howell. Tough shot, and he got it.
Yeah, it's too easy. Josh Gray gave just a little too much ground right there at the rim.
Pierce muscles inside. Pierce is fouled. After 24 Saturday against LIU, he'll go to the line with a chance at his first couple tonight.
And I like that decision right there by Trent Pierce. You know, obviously he's a player that is continuing to build out his frame in terms of building strength, but there's nothing soft about Trent Pierce. He's a straight line driver. He's a good athlete. He can go play above the rim. And right there, he's able to catch a rip and play off his jump shot, because you know Jacksonville State is going to play him for the jumper. And right there, catch, rip, drive baseline, create contact, use your size, get to the free throw line. Yeah.
Sunday's featured men's basketball game right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Mark Sears and number 6 Alabama hosting Kent State in a matinee matchup at Coleman Coliseum. Our coverage begins at 1 Eastern, 12 Central, SEC Network and the ESPN app. One more free throw for Trent Pierce. 77% foul shooter, gets both. He had those 24 points against LIU in just 20 minutes off the bench. 4th time this year he scored in double figures despite not getting a ton of playing time. In fact, he's Missouri's leading scorer on a per-minute basis this year.
Yeah, it's important for Trent just to keep building game by game and finding that consistency. That word consistency is important. Trent's an efficient player. We saw it in their last match against LIU. But finding that consistency game in and game out is really important in his development.
Skip pass for Brigham. Misses the 3 badly, but another offensive rebound for Hogue.
Again, it just can't happen. That's just an effort play right there. Hogue, again, not blocked out. He has a free path to the rim. Ball comes right to him, and he gets a stick back. That's 4 points off offensive rebounds.
Inside, a whistle and a kick ball against Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks, one of the best rebounding teams in the country, and they've showed it already.
Yeah, a lot of it is just strength, physicality, and the will, the want to go rebound. And Missouri's just turning and watching. Not a lot of contact made in box outs, and that's what happens, especially long shots, long rebounds. The ball can bounce differently off the rim. If you're not checked out, offensive rebounds can happen, and it's easy points for Jacksonville State.
On average, Jacksonville State out-rebounds opponents by 10 boards per game. Best in Conference USA, 13th in the country. +5 already in this game. Warwick for 3. High arcing rebound brought down by Gray, who banks it home. More than 10 minutes for Missouri to get a field goal from anyone other than Tony Perkins.
It's a big time rebound too for Josh Gray, just to use his length and strength to go up, rebound the ball, and then keep the ball high to go finish. Great effort right there by Josh Gray.
Live ball turnover for Jacksonville State, the 5th turnover for the Gamecocks. Pierce, transition 3, picks up right where he left off. 24 on Saturday. There's his first 3 tonight.
That is pure, too. You're talking 6'8", 6'9", in rhythm, left to right. That's a pretty stroke, contested, and nothing but the bottom of the net from Trent Pierce.
Brigham past Warwick, over Gray, wouldn't go. Tip is up and in. Nicholson gets in on the act.
And for Jacksonville State, when they talked about the transition game and sending guys back, they're crashing the glass right now. They're getting offensive rebounds and they're getting stick backs. It's easy offense for them.
Warwick gets inside for 2. Well, Ray Harper's been around. Maybe he gave us the old head fake.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Thinking, man, there's 4 guys around the rim. I didn't know that was going to be in the game plan.
Harper was at Western Kentucky for a while as head coach. Had a ton of success at the Division II and NAIA levels with Kentucky Wesleyan and Oklahoma City, respectively. Combined 4 national titles in 11 seasons. Not new at this game. Oh, goes baseline, past Warwick and scores.
It's a complete breakdown between Mark Mitchell and Warwick in the switch. It's a lack of communication, and then Warwick's on the side. He's not in front of the ball. He's playing on the side and gives up the baseline. Never want to give up a baseline drive.
That's 10 already for Hogue, the transfer from St. Peter's. Mitchell muscles in on him and scores. Mark Mitchell's first bucket.
That is automatic. If Mark Mitchell's going to get one-on-one isolation on the block, let him go to work. Let him carve out space, use his strength, get to his touch. Perfect finish. Great set right there from Dennis Gates to get Mark Mitchell involved.
Missouri starting to pick it up on the offensive end. That's 4 straight field goals that have gone down for the Tigers. Pierre, quiet last few possessions. Whistles it underneath for Nicholson, who was fouled on the entry by Gray. And Jacksonville State will have it on the other side. Jared, things are picking up.
Things are picking up indeed. Missouri getting back in this game, but Jacksonville State staying aggressive. 2-point lead for Jacksonville State here in the first half.
And that offensive glass, Jared, has been a problem for Missouri early on. Jacksonville State crashing.
Yeah, and right now, Jacksonville State +4 on the glass, and that's something you hope will change. Missouri does have 4 offensive rebounds, but having to really lock in on the defensive and getting those defensive rebounds is what Dennis Gates is going to want more of.
Another Gamecocks turnover. Warwick in transition, sets up Trent Pierce. Again!
That is pure. That is a beautiful stroke. And both these threes in transition and his teammates finding him. Not a lot of space to get the shot off either, but quick high release point. That's what's great about Trent, is his size. He's got a high release point, just natural follow through. What a smooth stroke, and again, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Missouri leads for the first time tonight. House underneath. Hogue went for the stop, couldn't get it. Pierre, and the shot clock never reset, even though the ball hit the rim.
My goodness, though, Mark Mitchell, what a block. As we look back here, this is Warwick in transition. That's a great unselfish play. It starts with Tony Perkins getting the deflection on the baseline out of bounds on the other end. Trent Pierce running his lane. And then the great thing about having a mind of a shooter is you want to find space, and you want to make sure that you're calling out where you are to the ball handler. And right there, Trent runs his lane and lets Warwick know he's behind him, he's open, and he really in rhythm into a shot. Left to right footwork with momentum. It's a great find. Unselfish play by Warwick. That's what Missouri wants to do in transition.
Ball did not hit rim, 8 on the shot clock.
So the officials look at it and confirm that 8 is the accurate number. Get another look at this contest.
Excellent play, though. Mark Mitchell coming from the weak side. That's nothing but all ball right there. 8 seconds on the shot clock here. On a sideline out of bounds. Let's see what Jacksonville State draws up here.
High post turnaround. Hogue off the mark. Rebound. Corralled by Jamar Franklin to set up Deron Pierre. Another offensive rebound for Hogue.
Right now, Missouri's just in scramble mode. Right there, I think the breakdown, if they're in zone, if they're in man, if they're blitzing, there's a lot of miscommunication on the defensive end that's leading to these offensive rebounds.
And Missouri played a little bit of zone on this possession. Does that surprise you, considering the rebounding struggles?
Well, sometimes, too, when you show on a sideline out of bounds, you might show zone, you might show man, and then when the ball's inbounded, you change and you shift. And if you're doing that, you got to be on the same page. And right here, Peyton Marshall coming out of the game because of that. And there was a breakdown there, and you can't allow a guy to catch the ball right at the free throw line on a direct pass, breakdown defensively.
A long offensive possession for Jacksonville State. Already 3 cracks at it. Pierre turns the corner. Pick out Franklin. Gets by Pierce. Scoop shot. No. Rebounded by Pierce for Missouri.
Unlucky right there. A really strong move. Just didn't get the finish.
Jacob Cruz. His 3 rims out. Trent Pierce pulls down the one-hand rebound.
Trent Pierce is going to play a lot of minutes if he's going to rebound the ball like he's been doing the last few possessions.
Mark Mitchell is fouled, and he will get 2 free throws.
That's different right there for Mark Mitchell as opposed to when we started the game. Right there, straight up, straight down. Go through the contact, don't fade. Go through the contact. Obviously, Mark Mitchell doing a great job this season of getting to the free throw line. Now convert those free throws. Mark Mitchell will live at the free throw line for Missouri this season. He's got to convert those throws.
58% on the season. You mentioned it earlier. Missouri makes better than 21.5 free throws per game on average, more than any other Division I team in the country. And that's despite shooting just 71.5% this year, which is not bad, but it's nowhere near the program record 79% they shot last year.
And Mark Mitchell, he's a 15-point-per-game scorer over his last 5. He's shooting 54% from the field, so he's been very efficient. He's been productive. The key is that number could be up over 20 if he converts at the free throw line, and defenses understand that he is going to get to his spot. He's too good of an athlete. And they will start fouling him to see if he can convert those free throws. So you hope Mark Mitchell can get that percentage up to around maybe 68, maybe 70. If he can sneak that up, all of a sudden that offensive production goes up even more.
Pierre sets up Ituka. Franklin out of the corner. A second 3 for Jamar Franklin in the first half.
That's a spot too. Corner. Efficient shot right there. Good elevation, natural follow through, and a pure stroke. Good swing of the ball around the perimeter. Missouri out of sorts in rotation.
Pierce wants another. This time off the heel, rebounded by Hogue.
You see the difference right there. Trent Pierce more fading back on that shot. Shot is short. His 2 made threes, he's going into his shot. A little difference right there off the pick and pop action.
Hogue working on Jacob Cruz. Muscles into him, couldn't finish. Rebound batted out. Tracked down by Franklin. Nicholson has the size advantage on Perkins. It's stripped. Pop free again. Nicholson and a crowd scores.
Great effort by Nicholson. Tony Perkins did a great job of getting multiple deflections, slapping the ball down, but Nicholson just stays with the play and finishes.
Cruz gets the 3 and puts Missouri back in front.
That's a good shot fake too to sidestep. Quick 3 in transition, but Cruz a very good shooter right there, open look in transition to knock it down.
He feels like one of those guys who's kind of gotten lost in the early season amid Missouri's crowded rotation.
Exactly. There's a lot of guys, especially with Trent Pierce playing the way he is, but Cruz can give this team a lift in the shooting department, especially with his range and ability to make shots in transition.
Franklin thought about the 3. Ituka takes it off the fake and sticks it.
It's probably the 3rd time in this first half that you've seen Warwick leave his feet off a shot fake. And once you jump out of position, it throws the other 4 out of sorts and out of space, and you're kind of trying to scramble, and you give up a 3.
Mitchell through the contact with Nicholson to tie the game.
Yeah, it's all day. One-on-one action and face-ups. Mark Mitchell can just work and craft out his space. Great finish with his left.
Shots are going down both directions. Jacksonville State, a ton of offensive rebounds. One set up Joe Ituka, who's been stroking it the last 3 games. He splashes another one at Missouri's defensive end of the floor. The Gamecocks have more offensive rebounds than Missouri has defensive rebounds.
Yeah, it's why Jacksonville State right now, if you look at points in the paint, second chance points, even bench points, right now Jacksonville State leads in those categories. It's not a good sign for Missouri.
Jerron Pierre off the mark. He had a couple of shots early, but has missed his last 2. Missouri can take the lead. The Tigers have really heated up since a cold start. Mitchell has the size advantage on Brigham. Through contact, he finishes.
Again, all day. If it's one-on-one on the block, let Mark Mitchell go to work. And what you've loved about Mark Mitchell through this first half is seeing the versatility for him to score the ball. Left-hand finishes, right hand. That's a beautiful spin. Stays on balance. A little bit of a shot fake to create an angle, and then use the glass softly with the right hand.
Brigham against Mitchell. 8 to shoot. Brigham, tough ball away, goes down.
That's tough. I mean, that's good defense by Mark Mitchell. Doesn't give up any driving lane, a great contest, not fouling. Better offense. Great defense, better offense.
Missouri has made its last 3 field goals and 8 of its last 10. whistle away from the basketball goes down low. Jacksonville State trying to do something on Josh Gray.
One of the things we've seen from Jacksonville State in this first half is the physicality. I mean, they are playing hard, bringing that toughness, as we touched on with the offensive glass. They've done as good a job as they can in terms of trying to match up Josh Gray, Mark Mitchell on the floor, just a size advantage and athleticism from Missouri with Mark Mitchell on the block.
Cruz bangs another three.
Speaking of a pure stroke, Jacob Cruz finding his rhythm here in this first half. Another three, a contested three at that. Really shooting the ball well here in this first half.
Missouri has made 6 of 12 three-pointers. Pierre inside, scores.
He's going to get to his spots. Really good ball handler and just capable of getting to different areas of the floor, reading the defense and counter moves. A really high level from Pierre.
Warwick, the low cross, blocked by Hogue, but a goal tag.
Right idea by Hogue, but good attack there by Warwick, and then the right hand. Didn't use his left hand there. Good finish there. Right idea, though, from Hogue coming from the weak side. I love the low crossover, too, from Warwick. I mean, Warwick is a really good scorer. We touched on it before of just the points that he's put up at his previous spots. Missouri got him in the transfer portal. Right there, just showing that skill set to put the ball down, split the trap, split the screening action right there with a low dribble, not getting the ball deflected away, and then able to get to the glass with his offhand.
Kelron House handling the basketball for Jacksonville State. True freshman from Louisville, making just his 4th collegiate appearance, limited early in the season by a stress fracture. Out of the corner, it's Hogue, too strong. Rebound, last off of Gray and Missouri. No! The officials initially signaled Jack State basketball. Maybe just an inadvertent signal, and it goes back to Mizzou.
A quick change, maybe just pointed, lost his senses there of what direction the teams were going. He gives it back to Missouri.
I think if I were an official, that would happen to me once again.
It's easier said than done, right?
Mitchell, way short. Nicholson the rebound. Pierre working on Mitchell. He is shifty, he is quick, he is strong at the rim.
That was actually the matchup I've wanted to see all night, was Pierre on Mark Mitchell in a switch. How would that look? And Pierre really matched the strength of Mark Mitchell to get to the rim and finish.
Robinson answers with a triple. Missouri continues to fill it up from deep.
Missouri starting to shoot that basketball. The paint has not been there in the first half enough. Settling into the three-point shot. Anthony Robinson with a step-back three, an improved shooter. Really right decision right here. Great screen by Josh Gray. And Anthony Robinson showing why he's taken that jump this season, having a strong sophomore campaign here in non-con play. Big shot by Anthony Robinson.
You mentioned Robinson, an improved shooter. That's certainly borne out in his field goal numbers and his free throw numbers. As you see, Missouri's bounce back from the slow start from the field tonight. He still doesn't take a lot of threes, but if that becomes even a sporadic part of his game, it just opens up the floor for him.
Absolutely, he's a two-way player. I mean, it starts with him on the defensive side of the ball, his length, his instincts. He's got great anticipation. I mean, he is a gnat on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I love that he's just embraced being back to his normal position of being a point guard. He's +3 in assists this season in terms of assists per game. Obviously, the field goal percentage is better. That 29.6 assist, no turnover game against Cal was kind of his coming out party. And obviously, he's an improved scorer, but he's more of a pass-first facilitator by nature, and he can score secondarily if he needs to. As you saw right there, he's going to take what the defense gives him. Really smart, high-level basketball IQ player, and he's showing it this season more and more at his natural position that he's back at this year.
Meanwhile, Jacksonville State, led by as many as 7 in this first half, now trailing by 4. Feels like a big 47.5 seconds for the Gamecocks before halftime. They could go 2 for 1 if they hurry. Of course, not popular in the college game.
You'd think it'd be more popular in the college game than 2 for 1 with that advantage.
House is fouled by Pierce. Missouri had a couple of fouls to give.
It's actually a smart foul right there. Missouri really needs to set their defense. Right there, they bring a little full court pressure. It comes into a trap. Looks like they were falling back into more of a zone. Then they're switching. And right there, just reset. Get on the same page of where you are these final 30 seconds.
Pierre leads Jacksonville State with 11 first-half points. Rise and fire, and hit.
Just a little too much space by Anthony Robinson. He was playing for the drive, and Pierre just rose up and shot that ball, buried it, knocked it down. From the Norm Stewart logo, deep range. Pierre's putting on a show here in this first half.
14 first-half points for Pierre. Robinson, step back three. Off the front iron, rebounded by Hogue from three-quarters court. Off the timer above the backboard, and that takes us into the halftime break after a scintillating first 20 minutes.
Yeah, entertaining first half, back and forth. Missouri able to get the lead by 1. 20 minutes still to go. Back and forth we go. Entertaining first half.
Missouri has won 8 straight games when leading at the half, but Jacksonville State 2-2 this year when trailing at halftime. The Gamecocks have been in a lot of close games. Nothing new. Missouri has got work to do in the final 20. And bracketology from Joe Lenardi at ESPN right now has 13 SEC teams in the tournament. Obviously, it's very, very early, but that would be a record by 2.
Well, and remember, I mean, once you get into league play, you can beat up on each other. You're in the family at that point, but there's so much talent within these teams. I mean, Oklahoma's undefeated. Texas has a great talent in Trey Johnson. Asa Newell at Georgia, big-time talent. And then you scatter up and down, you know, you look at Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky with Mark Pope having an entirely different roster of just all newcomers. He's been great at Kentucky. They're off to a great start. And then Nate Oates at Alabama. Don't sleep on Alabama. They got a lot of young talent that's still emerging, but they are loaded as well. They could be a team that really takes a jump forward. League play is going to be a blast. Every night in SEC play is going to be fun with matchups everywhere.
Missouri will start with a basketball and a 1-point lead, and Trent Pierce will start the second half in the starting lineup, which doesn't feel like nothing.
Yeah, it does. I mean, he shot the ball well, but I really was impressed with it. There was a couple moments where he showed his ability to go rebound the ball. He's a good athlete. He had a defensive rebound and an offensive rebound. He will play more minutes when he does other things other than just make shots. That's what Dennis Gates wants to get out of him. It's just more than just being a shooter with his size.
Mitchell muscles inside. He's into double figures. Missouri's leading scorer with 10. It's been easy for him lately.
Absolutely. And again, right there, a slight double, you know, trying to show a little bit more pressure around the rim to Mark Mitchell, but you're really going to have to get the ball out of his hands. When he gets to his spots, able to use the spin, and obviously he can finish with both hands, has great touch over the top.
Pierre had a game-high 14 in the first half. Spins on Perkins, leading jumper goes down, make it 16 for Pierre tonight.
That's a big-time move and big-time shot. I mean, just a simple spin on the baseline, and it's contested, not a lot of airspace, but he can just rise up over the top of defenders and make shots. And Missouri not contesting well enough to get in his line of sight and vision.
Robinson sets up Perkins. Too strong. Offensive rebound was, in the end, inadvertently knocked away from Gray by Pierce and vice versa, and Jacksonville State comes up with it.
Yeah, friendly fire right there. Both of those guys had an opportunity for an offensive rebound.
Cotton, tough leaner, blocked by Mitchell. Knocked loose by Robinson out of bounds. Jacksonville State will keep it.
Can't tell you how good Anthony Robinson is defensively. He altered that play multiple times, and although there's no steal involved, his just activity right there, jumping a passing and getting his hand in the lane to take away an angle for a shot, and then gets a deflection coming from the backside. So good hunting balls from the backside. Element of surprise with Anthony Robinson, getting his hands on balls with his length.
Pierre, step back over Mitchell, left it short, and the rebound out of bounds to Missouri.
That's fortunate too, because that's really his spot, trying to get to that sidestep left. And a little deep shot, good defense right there by Mark Mitchell to contest. But right now for Jacksonville State, they're really going to continue to put the ball in Pierre's hands, let him go make plays, whether it be scoring the ball or facilitating out of pick and roll or off the bounce.
This game has been played in a tight window. Mitchell draws an early double. Block to block, finds Josh Gray for his second bucket.
It's the right play by Mark Mitchell. There was the double, and Mark Mitchell couldn't really do much with it outside of making that exact play, finding the open man, block to block passing. Highly underrated when you have a forward that can pass, can play both 4 and 5 and pass. And how about the left hand from Josh Gray? Great finish off the spin.
That's 3 assists for Mitchell tonight. Inside Brigham, tried to muscle through Pierce. It's last off Marcellus Brigham, and Missouri gets it back.
Big time defense by Trent Pierce. Defending without fouling, taking the contact, and just not extending his hand right here. This is the pass by Mark Mitchell. Really good look away. Sees the help side. Nicholson coming from the left. Attacks that left side hip. Able to finish Josh Gray over the left hand.
Jacksonville State led for much of the first half by as many as 7. Missouri has led by as many as 4. Mitchell working on Cotton. Finds Perkins. Elbow jumper rattles out. Rebound Pierre.
It was the same play Missouri ran the previous possession. Good cut by Tony Perkins, just didn't convert an open look.
Pierre lost the handle. It's out off of Missouri. Hold on now. The officials are going to talk to each other. Might have been a better angle over on the near side. And indeed, they overturn the call.
That's why you have a crew. That's why you have 3 officials. You don't see something off first glance, get the play right. Yeah, right there through Tony Perkins' legs.
Ray Harper did not agree.
Yeah, well, we didn't have to go to a review. That took, several seconds or minutes for that. So that's good they got it right away.
Trying Jamar Franklin on Mitchell. Help side defender is Pierre. Pass to Perkins, poked away by Nicholson.
Right play by Mark Mitchell. I love this about Mark Mitchell's game. He wasn't doing this at Duke. He's shown signs of being able to face up from the elbows and attack and rip and get to his left and right hand. Also playing off the block, single coverage, attacking, isolation, and then in doubles, making passes to teammates.
Pierce for 3. Way too strong. Rebound loose. Corralled by Robinson. Just 4 on the timer. Only 2. Robinson contested, rims out. Pierce the offensive rebound, and he alertly throws it off of Marcellus Brigham, who was standing out of bounds.
This is the best we've seen Trent Pierce in terms of crashing the glass. If he's coming up with an offensive rebound, even before when him and Josh Gray went after the same ball, right there, heads up play too. So throw it, thinks he's leaning out of bounds. Just throw it off the Jacksonville State player and get an extra possession.
Robinson gets it to go. Missouri's largest lead tonight.
He's crafty, he's slippery, really does a great job of getting into angles and getting into the cracks of the defense. Love the shiftiness of Anthony Robinson and the length to extend and finish as well.
Franklin, left corner 3. That's the 3rd time he's hit from the same spot tonight.
Yeah, he's had a great day shooting the basketball. Everything's catch and shoot off of, again, the play of Pierre. Breaking down defenders with his explosiveness. Missouri's got to help open shooters there for Jacksonville State.
Franklin has 9 points on 3 threes, and his feet have been not more than a foot from each other on any of those 3. Put a dot on the court where Jamar Franklin has scored his 9. Mitchell doubled with 6 on the timer. Perkins muscles it over Nicholson. It wouldn't drop. Nicholson the rebound, ripped loose by Perkins and pulled back by Nicholson, who looks down at Missouri's point guard.
It's the right read by Mark Mitchell. And Tony Perkins could have found a better shot for Missouri.
Franklin again, this time he took a full step up to the left wing, but the same result, and Jacksonville State back on top.
And again, it's Missouri's lack of maintaining the ball, keeping the ball in front, not allowing dribble penetration, because that defense just sucks in open shooters, and Jacksonville State, give them credit, they're making shots.
Mitchell double, spins away, fouled, and he will have 2 free throws to put Missouri back on top on the other side of the timeout. We highlighted Missouri's 3-point shooting at the half. Jacksonville State can stroke it as well.
They really can. Jamar Franklin finding his rhythm. It's Pierre off a kick out. Feet set, hand down, man down. Jacksonville State up 1 here early second half.
Jacksonville State has a 1-point lead early on in the second half in Columbia, and that's because the Gamecocks have dominated the offensive glass.
Yeah, long shots, long rebounds, but it's really Missouri finding a body. Jacksonville State's done a really good job of just crashing and finding the ball around the rim, and they're just using their physicality, using the strength, and it's all a matter of will, wanting to go get the rebounds, and Jacksonville State has really created that advantage in this game. I think it's a part of their game plan too. They have crashed the glass hard when we didn't think they would, and they've done that throughout this game.
Gamecocks have almost hit their season average for offensive rebounds. This is one of the best rebounding teams in the country by margin over the first handful of games this year. But it's one thing to do that against the mid-major schedule they've mostly played. It's another to do it against Missouri. They've been very convincing. It's held true since the first half. At the offensive end of the floor for Jacksonville State, they have out-rebounded from that rim. 9 offensive rebounds for Jack State, 8 defensive rebounds for Missouri. That is shocking.
Yeah, Mason Nicholson and Michael Hogue really have been the 2 with with Mason Nicholson, 8 rebounds and 7 for Hogue, and obviously 6 of those offensive combined between those two. So you want to, if you're Missouri, and obviously the coaches are seeing this box score, those are the 2 guys you got to find, because those are the guys going to find the ball.
Mark Mitchell splits a pair of free throws. He's Missouri's leading scorer with 11. Nicholson getting a breather, as is Hogue, both off the floor at the same time. So we'll see if Missouri can find the defensive glass with more efficiency. Brigham. A little late to get it back to Pierre, who was left in as much space as he ever finds. Tamar Bates strips it from him. Pierce leads the break. Jacksonville State has done a good job shutting Missouri down in transition. Bates, contested shot, no. Rebound, Niagu.
Not a great shot right there, a forced shot. We're just looking for a foul right there, Tamar Bates.
Brigham over Mitchell, left it short. Offensive rebound, Jacksonville State again.
It's one thing to jump for a rebound. It's another thing to make contact early and then go get the rebound afterward.
Pierre, the reverse. 18 for Pierre. Jack State back in front.
I've seen so much of his offensive skill set and his ability. That's a great drive baseline, knowing Mark Mitchell might go for the block, reverse it, use the rim to protect the ball, and finish with a soft reverse.
Stolen by Corey Cotton. Bounce pass in transition. Pierre, the spin, lost the handle. And a turnover for Jacksonville State.
Excellent play by Anthony Robinson. First off, it's a lazy pass by Tamar Bates leading to the steal and the turnover. Excellent anticipation from Jacksonville State. But Anthony Robinson sprints back and gets to the rim and is the first one down the floor and forces that turnover right here. Just a careless, lazy pass on a bounce pass. You'd like to throw it over the top, but Anthony Robinson, full sprint, all the way back into the play, doesn't foul, and able to force the turnover.
Bates gets by Niagu, can't get it off the window. Pierre the rebound. Hogue back on the floor for Jack State. Cut off by Pierce. Pierre resets. Game high 18 points. He has 6 rebounds as well now. Scoop pass. Niagu took an extra step before he put it on the floor.
Right now for Missouri, they got to settle down offensively. Right now, trying to establish Tamar Bates, knowing he's struggled to find his offense. But you still want to find good shots within the offense. It's not there, kick it out, move the ball, beat a defense with the pass. And now just kind of settling for drives and dribble penetration isn't there. You're not getting necessarily those angles. Trying to move the ball for Jacksonville State, doing a really good job defensively.
Jacob Cruz hit a couple of first half threes and splashes one just out of the floor in the second.
Love the sidestep. Jacob Cruz using that shot fake. One dribble left, sidestep, and gather right into your jump shot. We've seen it multiple times tonight from 35.
Franklin, right side off the heel. Cotton to the rim, beats Mitchell to the backboard and puts Jack State back in front.
Again, it's these 50-50 balls right there. Jacksonville State has come up with a majority of those back iron misses. The ball's in the air. You've got to continue to make contact. You're not just going to have out-jump everybody. You've got to make physicality and contact.
Cruz too strong. Rebound, Franklin. Pierre, high screen, all the way to the rim. Wild shot off the side of the backboard. Missouri has numbers. Cruz into Franklin, has it blocked, but a foul. How about the effort from Jamar Franklin at just 6'3" on the much taller Jacob Cruz. He's given up 6-7 inches there.
And he got up there, he exploded up to the rim and contested. And I like that too. Like, don't give up anything easy in transition defense. You get the foul, and obviously Jacob Cruz is a very good shooter, but you don't give up anything easy. You don't give up the layup. You're out of sorts. There's no numbers there. It's a good foul.
So Cruz will be at the foul line. Jacksonville State making a line change. House, Brigham, Ituga, Nicholson all return. Cotton, Niagu, Franklin, and Pierre sit down. Hogue is the only Gamecock who remains on the floor.
And again, 13 seconds before the media timeout, Pierre leaves the floor. He's trying to get him a little bit of a blow, knowing there's game to be had here with 12 minutes, and you don't want fatigue to creep in.
Cruz splits the free throws. Just his 4th and 5th free throw attempts of the entire season. Missouri has left a few points at the line, which is been often true this year. They've made more free throws per game than anyone else in the country, but not at an especially high percentage. Ituka, 3. Good.
That was just a lot of dribbling on one side of the floor, one drive and kick. Missouri's just late to the closeout. And a made jumper for Jacksonville State off the kick.
Foul by House on Robinson. And so Missouri will keep it on the other side. But Jacksonville State, after leading for much of the first half, trailed by 1 at the break. Gamecocks back up 3. Jacksonville State on top 55-52. There are a lot of reasons for it, but it doesn't help that the Gamecocks have a game-high 18 from Jerron Pierre, their leading scorer. Missouri hasn't gotten anything from Tamar Bates.
Yeah, and Tamar Bates is their leader, especially when you look at Caleb Grill not being in the lineup. Tamar Bates is their vocal leader. He was SEC Player of the Week just a week ago after his 29-point game against Kansas. He leads Mizzou in scoring. He's shooting a career-best 55% from the field, and he's 0 for 5, and some of those misses here in the second half have been forced. You know, so he's not doing much on offense. He's also not rebounding the ball, and that's the biggest concern in this game is Tamar Bates is capable of rebounding the ball. Coaches talk about that all the time, as well as, you know, Tamar, when he's aggressive, he can score the ball. He's an efficient player. We're not seeing that tonight, and especially on the offensive side of the ball is one thing with the scoring, but it's the other things that impact winning, especially in a game like this when you don't rebound the ball as an older player.
Jacksonville State is dominating on the glass, as we've talked about, now nearly doubling up Missouri on the backboards. And on top of that, the Gamecocks are starting to shoot even better than they did in the first half.
Yeah, and you continue to look at second chance points. I mean, Jacksonville State right now +6, and you feel like that should be more, but just +6. Missouri does have 9 second chance points, but the name of the game is the glass. And right now, 11 offensive rebounds for Jacksonville State, and they're +13 total on the glass. Missouri's got to figure that out.
Robinson working on House. Warwick, 3. Ties the game.
Big shot from Warwick. Off a pick and pop action. And that's the thing about this offense. Dennis Gates allows the freedom to shoot your shot. Warwick is a very good offensive player. It's a quick shot, but he's a capable shooter, and he knocks it down.
Jacksonville State was a heavy underdog in this game, but hanging around. House shovels to Nicholson, who is fouled by Gray. Mason Nicholson went up strong.
Yeah, and right there, I don't think Josh Gray needed to help there. Marcus Allen comes in the game, and Marcus can be such a big-time player for Missouri defensively. He can really move and guard. He's got strong legs. And right there, the double comes. I don't know if he really needed it. And the foul is right there. Looks like a little bit of contact up above, and Nicholson goes to the free throw line. But Marcus Allen comes in the game, and what Marcus can really bring Missouri is that defensive tenacity. He's fine in space. He's fine in ISO. Just let him go and let him cover.
How much of that as a big guy is knowing the personnel and where you might need help and where you're more comfortable one-on-one?
Well, and big guys love to come in and block shots. That's what they want to do. Secondary, rim protection, coming from the weak side. But right, when you're playing off a guard that can shot fake and play off a pivot, it really puts big guys in a tough spot there. Josh Gray leaves his feet, and it's an easy dump-off pass, and then you're out of sorts.
Nicholson splits the free throws. 1 point Gamecocks lead. Robinson right up the gut, got it, plus a foul.
That is so good. What a move by Anthony Robinson, reading the defense, and just, again, he's slippery off the ball screen, able to reject the screen and split 2. Just goes inside Josh Gray, and then, man, the touch up and under, left hand, didn't use it, or excuse me, right hand, doesn't even use the glass. Look at the second look here. Hang time. Easy call. Man, that is tough. So much just wiggle and craftiness from Anthony Robinson.
2 of 4 at the line tonight. Can't cash in. 86% free throw shooter. He has made just 2 of his 5 this evening.
Anthony Robinson not happy with himself. He's not accustomed to missing free throws.
Ituka drives on Warwick. Pivot to the left hand, and he's fouled by Marquez Warwick. 2 free throws coming for Joey Ituka.
It's good defense by Warwick, just right at the end. Looks like there might have been a little contact. Moved his feet really well, though, to take away dribble penetration.
So Ituka goes to the free throw line. 78% foul shooter this year. 1 of 2 tonight. Our SEC Network crews will be in Austin and Columbus for the college football playoff first round games between Texas and Clemson and then Tennessee and Ohio State. Preview coverage begins Friday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern with SEC This Morning. Then on game day, we'll have you covered before, during, and after both games on Saturday. Ituka gets both, and Jack State up 1.
And Nate, right now, 10 minutes and change. It's a 1-point game. It's that saying of Jacksonville State hanging around. You know, you're on the road in an SEC environment. You've had some close losses on your record. They think they should be 9-1, and they're in this game with still 10 minutes to play, but they're in a good spot.
Tough shot, Marquez Warren. Obviously, he doesn't get the volume of shots now that he did at Northern Kentucky, but not hard to see why he filled it up the way he did there for the Norse.
Yeah, and you can see the talent, and you can see why Dennis Gates brought him here to have a guy come off the bench that can provide an instant spark offensively. Missouri has a top 5 offense in the country, and he's a big part of that coming off the bench, giving them a boost in production, scoring the ball.
That's off balance, offhand.
Yeah. Got natural scoring instincts. He is wired to score.
That's coming into tonight, just 30 points behind Hunter Dickinson as the leading active scorer in the country.
I'd say that's elite company to be in. Some guys just know how to score. They can score it in different ways, versatility to score the ball and make shots at different levels.
House got Allen in the air, sneaks by for 2.
Marcus was so good there until he bites at the shot fake. And right now, Jacksonville State, that's discipline. That's fundamentally sound discipline. Knowing you're the undersized guard, a head fake, ball fake, and get the defender off his feet.
Nicholson goes above the rim to deny Cruz. Franklin on the run out. Euro for 2. Plus the foul. Jamar Franklin will have a chance at a 3-point play.
Right there, the sequence. Jacksonville State gets a block shot. Jacob Cruz trying to drive the ball. There's probably 3 guys there waiting for him. Right there, just blocks the shot above the rim, and then Missouri just doesn't get back in defensive transition. Anthony Robinson has to play 2. He's trying to go for the steal there, and a really good finish from Jamar Franklin for the 3-point play.
Jamar Franklin, the second leading scorer in this game, 14 points. First trip to the line tonight, 6 of 8 on the year at the stripe. And he gets that one to make it a 4-point Jacksonville State lead.
For Missouri right here, run your offense. Let's get a good shot and move the ball.
Inside and a foul. Nicholson not a fan.
And it's a good drive by Trent Pierce, and he gets the call. A lot of quick shots. I think Jacksonville State is really, it's playing into their hands. That's kind of what they are wanting, is if you can get a contested quick shot at the rim, you can get a deflection and rebound. It immediately allows you to get out and transition and run on the other end.
Pierce gets the first free throw. He has made all 3 at the line this evening. 9 points in 18 minutes.
This will help his game a ton. We talk about the rebounding of Trent Pierce crashing the glass, but he can take the ball to the rim and get to the free throw line. He's got such a smooth stroke. It's almost automatic when he gets to the line. But it's him being aggressive and having the mentality where he has a driving lane, use your length, 1-2 dribbles, and try to get to the rim, create contact, or go dunk the ball.
New look here for Mizzou.
Yep. Going a little matchup zone, a little 2-3 extended.
House, 8 to shoot. Pierre comes to get it. Pierre with 3. Working on Pierce. Out of the corner. Left it short. Rebound Robinson. Stretch pass Bates. Tamar Bates, his first bucket of the night in style.
This place is as loud as it's been all night, and it starts with the defensive side of the ball. What a great pass by Anthony Robinson, and Tamar Bates gets his first bucket with authority. Missouri's defense leading to offense. Anthony Robinson to the veteran. Tamar Bates, the leading scorer. Defense to offense. We got a ball game. Missouri ties it 8 to play, second half in Como.
Missouri was favored by 17 in this game. It has not played out that way. The Tigers have rarely led. They haven't been up by more than 5. Jacksonville State has led by as many as 7. And we have 8 minutes and 33 seconds left to decide this game.
Yeah, a long way to go. And really, it comes down to rebounding. For Jacksonville State, that's been their advantage. But Pierre, he had a couple shots in the early part of the second half, but really it's been Jamar Franklin. He's had 9 points in the second half. He's been really good as well. Let's see who kind of takes over this game. Is it Pierre? Is it Tamar Bates? Is it Mark Mitchell? Is it Anthony Robinson? A lot of time left, but really it's Missouri's defense too changing right before that timeout into that matchup zone. It was almost like a 3-2, 2-3 extended. Really gave Jacksonville State a problem. Great adjustment by Dennis Gates. Same look here defensively for Missouri.
Shot clock getting late early again on Jack State. High post entry, Hogue spins to the block, off the heel, rebound on the floor. Franklin grabbing at it. It's out of bounds off of Missouri, and Jacksonville State will get the timer reset to 20.
I love the effort. Multiple bodies on the floor. It's those 50-50 balls that equate to offensive rebounds. Long shots, long rebounds. Both teams going at it. Highly competitive here over the last few minutes.
The crowd really got into it on that sequence before the timeout as well.
No question. The energy level is picked up.
No real student section over winter break, but the kids who are here making some noise. Hogue with 7 to shoot. Working on Mitchell. Over the top, he sticks it to put Jack State in front.
It's really his spot. Hogue mid-range, right at the free throw line, over the top of Mark Mitchell. It's good contest. Hogue able to knock that down again. Second chance points for Jacksonville State.
Mitchell, the spin. The finish is not there, and Hogue the rebound.
Right idea, right play. Angle closed off. Really good job by Nicholson, too, to not foul and make that shot more difficult for Mark Mitchell.
Really stagnant from Jack State against the zone.
Yeah, and Missouri just shifting their defenses, too, and what they're showing. It's really giving Jacksonville State some changes.
Hogue, too strong, rebound Bates.
And that's what Tamar Bates should be doing all the time, going to the rim to rebound that ball.
Pierce for the lead.
So smooth, isn't it? Nothing but the bottom of the net. And it's a great pass as well by Mark Mitchell. The addition of Mark Mitchell from Duke, his ability to play differently than he played as a freshman and sophomore when he was at Duke, making passes, making his teammates better here tonight.
They called that a 2. They said Pierce's foot was on the line in the corner, so it's tied up at 65. Franklin beat the timer, couldn't get it, but chases his own miss. Nobody blocked him out.
Jacob Cruz and Tamar Bates, just watch that. And the shooter gets his own offensive rebound. Can't happen.
Hogue looks backdoor. Nicholson, tough reverse, wouldn't go. And he's down behind the play, holding his face.
It's a play on right now, 5-on-4.
Mitchell, bump. No whistle, but he finishes. Missouri on top. Ray Harper was all the way out on the floor before the whistle.
Better be careful, too. I've never seen a coach that far out on the floor. There was a timeout called. Dennis Gates is one of the explanation as well.
Ray Harper was a good 3, 4, 5 steps onto the court before the whistle stopped play. And Dennis Gates is making that point to the officials. Initially, he was just looking at them quizzically. His frustration has grown a little bit.
Yeah, and Dennis Gates has a point as well. Obviously, Coach Harper does as well. Both officials talking to both coaches.
6 minutes to go. Missouri up by 2. Tensions rising in Columbia. During the break, an official review to determine if this should be a flagrant foul for Jacob Cruz colliding with his left arm or hand with the face of Mason Nicholson, who I think we have to say, Jarrett, probably was fouled, especially there you see a shove in the back. It almost certainly should have been a foul, but Ray Harper very lucky to get away without being called for a technical the way he came onto the floor.
Yeah, I think there's an argument for both sides here, and there was no timeout called. We are going to get an explanation here. Really an interesting, especially with where we are in this game right now. Right now, it looks like Missouri probably will be called for a foul here, as that's what is being reviewed. I think Dennis Gates was wondering, a coach on the floor without a timeout being called was also something that Missouri was trying to get ironed out as well.
So the decision is going to be a flagrant against Jacob Cruz for unnecessary contact to the face of Nicholson. Just clarifying the number, looking for Cruz. He's number 35.
After review, we have a flagrant foul on 35 White. 2 shots and the ball for Black.
So Nicholson shoots 2.
And it is contact above the head. I understand the call and why they reviewed it, but it was really the play on that took place with obviously Coach Harper entering the floor as far out as he did that Dennis Gates was wanting an explanation on as well.
So Missouri fans aren't going to want to hear this, but I think there's an argument that kind of comes out in the wash, because clearly on the replay, it should have been a foul against Missouri. At the same time, I think based on what we saw live, it should have been a technical on Ray Harper, so we'll call it even.
Yeah, the officials are getting it right by taking it to review, and they see the contact above the shoulders, and that's the call. Obviously a foul too on the push in the back as well, and it wasn't called by that baseline official. And I also think with Coach Harper coming out talking to that specific official, no technical foul was called there, and they went straight to review, which is where the argument began in the first place.
I wonder if Cruz was so sure he was going to be called for a foul for hitting Nicholson in the face that's why he went ahead and shoved him in the back. Can't get called for 2 fouls on 1 play.
Live initially, I was surprised there was no whistle, and then obviously Nicholson falling to the floor, selling that a little bit as well, knowing that he did get contact above the shoulders, and it goes to review.
Jerron Pierre has been pretty quiet in the second half for Jack State. Jamar Franklin has not. Caught Nicholson, the stuff!
It's a great adjustment by Jacksonville State. Missouri brought that zone extended, and a dive on the baseline to get the dunk, with Missouri overextending to the perimeter.
Robinson draws 2 defenders. Bates, Cruz from deep, puts Missouri in front.
They needed that in the worst way. Jacob Cruz has stepped up big time shooting the basketball. Great pass by Tamar Bates.
13 points for Jacob Cruz, ties him with Mark Mitchell for Missouri's lead. Cotton, skip past Pierre, cut off by Pierce, stolen by Robinson. Mizzou in transition, Mark Mitchell, got it.
It starts with Trent Pierce. Incredible stop and effort defensively. Anthony Robinson gets the steal, leads the pack, and the vision to know Mark Mitchell's coming right down the pack with an easy athletic finish. Big time defense to offense sequence there for Missouri.
Ray Harper has 2 timeouts left, doesn't use one. Cotton has it rim out.
That was halfway down and out.
Mitchell, foul. That's the 6th against Jacksonville State. No free throws yet, but Missouri will be in the bonus the final 4:22.
The evolution of Anthony Robinson, we saw obviously make the pass to Mark Mitchell in transition, but how about right there, sophomore point guard, slow it down, get into an action. I want to get my best player in the spot. We have a 4-point lead, we have momentum, we're on a little bit of a run. Can we build that run? Can we make that plateau 4-7? I'm the point guard. Let me settle us down. Let me get into a set, and let's get Mark Mitchell a touch.
Cruz, another one! 16 points for Jacob Cruz, a Missouri career high.
Big time shot. I love the set and this play call from Dennis Gates out of the baseline set to get the hot-handed shot.
Largest lead for Missouri tonight, and Robinson fouls Pierre. On a night when Tamar Bates has struggled, how about this from Jacob Cruz?
Yeah, they've needed it, especially when you think Caleb Grill out of the lineup. Trent Pierce is shooting the ball really well, but this is another, talk about top 3 shooters, Jacob Cruz is right in the mix. I mean, he's a knockdown lethal weapon from 3, and he is showing it tonight.
What does Pierre have to answer? Home in traffic, rims out. Offensive glass and a tie-up, and the arrow favors Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks will keep it with 20 on the shot clock on the other side of the timeout. Jacob Cruz, back-to-back threes. He has 16, and Missouri is up by 7, its largest lead tonight. Jacob Cruz is averaging 3 points per game. Over his last 5 appearances, he had 15 combined points. He has 16 tonight, a Missouri career high, and the Tigers have needed all of them.
Yeah, and this is talk about Missouri's depth. This is it. Jacob Cruz, a guy that has not had many opportunities. Caleb Grill's out, not in the lineup, and boom, he comes right in and has made an instant impact in this game. Why Missouri has this lead up 7.
It has ebbed and flowed again for Mizzou tonight. The Tigers started the game cold from the field. They finished the first half on fire and sort of did the same thing in the second half, just easing into the game.
Yeah, and Jacob Cruz, you got to be happy for him. He's getting this opportunity. And last year, he finished 51st in the country with 19 points a game. He also averaged 8 rebounds a game. That's a big-time three-point shooter. He was 19th in the country in three-point percentage last year at 41%. So he's a very capable shooter. And he was only one of 2 players, Baylor Shireman, an NBA draft pick by the Boston Celtics. He joined Creighton's Baylor Shireman last year to score 600 points, 250 rebounds, and 85 made threes. That is an impact player that Dennis Gates identified in the transfer portal, and he's playing a different role here at Missouri, but he's making an impact and he's finding himself. That's what non-conference play is about, especially in today's college basketball with transfers.
Inbound pass knocked away, stolen by Bates.
Good to see Tamar Bates make a play on the defensive side, knowing he is fully capable, just like Anthony Robinson, of picking up those steals with his defensive instincts, making some plays here, putting his name on this game.
Here's Mitchell. This has been Missouri's biggest mismatch. Overcut, left it short, follows his own miss, and he's fouled.
That's all day, and Mark Mitchell is so unselfish too. He's got great feel with his back to the basket. He can play face up, but right there, that's been Missouri's go-to in this game, is getting him in a touch on the block, waiting to see if the double comes, getting to his strong hand. He can make passes, and right there, staying with the shot. He's an elite second jumper, right there staying with the play, getting to the free throw line.
4 of 5 in the free throw line tonight, Mark Mitchell. That's the kind of percentage that could be dangerous for SEC opposition if he's anywhere close to that number.
Absolutely. For Mark Mitchell, he should get to the line anywhere from 5, 7, 9 times a game. I mean, the way he plays and the physicality he brings, the ability to create contact with his explosiveness, he should get to the line. He's got to convert. 2 of 2 right there.
Missouri's largest lead of the night. Brigham off the heel. Offensive rebound home. Brigham again. Top bounce pass. Caught straight on 3. Way off the mark. Rebound Mitchell. He is fouled, and he'll have more free throws coming with Jacksonville State over the limit.
I got to give Dennis Gates a ton of credit, because when he changed his defense in the second half about 3 minutes ago, this game changed. He went to more matchup zones, but this zone has been changing. It's gone 2-3 to 3-2 to 1-3-1. They're matching up, they're trapping, and yes, they're giving up some offensive rebounds, but the effort, the intensity, the energy has picked up. It started with the changing of the defense, and it's led to the offensive side of the ball as well.
Mitchell now 5 of 6 at the line. This is the front end. Long rebound tracked down by Trent Pierce.
Gonna earn you minutes. Every time he gets a rebound, Dennis Gates sees that. And that's gonna continue to earn minutes in that rotation.
Cruz, not again. Not again!
The spacing, and again, it's Mark Mitchell. What a great read. He's on the block. He waits for his shooter to get set, hits him right in the shooting pocket, and Jacob Cruz, great ability to relocate on the perimeter, give himself some space, and knocks down a 3. What a game for Jacob Cruz.
Brigham flashes high post. Kick out. Ituka, the 3. That ends a scoring drought of more than 3.5 minutes for Jack State.
And I finally see a 3 go through against this zone. Got to shoot teams out of zones. Missouri's defense in that zone has been suffocating. Right there, Jacksonville State able to knock one down.
Cruz, why not? Rebound Pierre.
Heat check, got to find the hot hand on that set.
Pierre attacks. Ituka wanted another. Tied up and fouled by Robinson. And that's a sloppy Missouri foul because the Tigers are now over the limit. And Ituka, a good free throw shooter, will get one in the bonus.
See, that's a freshman mistake that Anthony Robinson makes. Too important to this basketball team, picking up cheap fouls. He cannot get in foul trouble for this team this year. Right there, I get it. He's a high motor, high energy kid. He wants to go get a steal, right? He sees the ball, it's instinctual. But he's got to understand the situation. You don't want to foul, stop the clock, put the opposing team at the free throw line. Yeah, you might be able to get that ball, but it's an easy call right there because you don't get the ball, you hit the hand, and you stop the clock, and it can change the game.
Ituka earns a second. So with Robinson or a kid like that, how do you coach the intensity and the high motor and encouraging all of that while also maintaining discipline?
Yeah, I mean, a coach is going to want that. They're going to want the guy to play hard and motor and toughness and compete. It's going to be definitely a film study and a film session the next day of look at the situation, understand where you are, don't get caught up and get lost in the game in that specific moment when it's winning time. You're under 4 minutes, winning time, execution's everything, and that's a lack of discipline right there.
Mark Mitchell knows a thing or two about winning time. Over Nicholson, he's fouled.
I just love how he goes into contact. You know, the first play of the game kind of faded a little bit as the course of the game has gone on. And the ability to spin, knowing they want him to go right, that he wants to go left, and right there he's fully comfortable spinning off to get to his right hand if he needs to, but not shying away from contact, getting himself to the free throw line, and this is when it matters. Minute 20 on the clock, you're up 8, you got to convert free throws.
It feels very NBA, the way they're kind of clearing out a side of the floor and using him to set up everything else.
This is the vision that they had in bringing Mark Mitchell here, because at Duke, he's in the corners, right? He's playing off elite talent, where he's just a role guy. He's, hey, you're a freak athlete, we're gonna switch you defensively, that's your impact. We want you on the glass, we want you as a cutter. But really, Mark Mitchell in high school, this is what he did. You could put the ball in his hands, and he's so quick to rip and go, defenders can't keep him in front. He can go right, left, spins, and he's ambidextrous. He can score with both hands as well. So you're really just seeing the offensive skill come out.
Pierre too strong on the three. Robinson the rebound. He is fouled. He will shoot free throws.
And there is good Anthony Robinson right there, finding the ball. Long shots on rebounds, able to get his hands, and the low man always wins in basketball. And right there, he's able to get his hands on the ball early and get the defensive rebound, get to the free throw line. Great effort. Got to have those type of plays late in games when you're trying to close the game out.
When you watch the way Missouri has played this non-conference, and obviously they have a big test still coming Sunday against Illinois, what stands out as the biggest thing or two they need to improve in order to maintain anything close to this level in the SEC?
Well, I think the thing, number one, will be the adjustment of guys coming back. And, you know, there's minutes to be earned. Obviously, this team has a ton of depth. It's a great thing to have. Caleb Grill is a big part of this basketball team, make no mistake about it. How does Trent Pierce, how does Jacob Cruz fit into the rotation there? Obviously, free throw shooting to close game is important. Rebounding the ball. What's that going to look like? You're trying to force steals, but you got to rebound the ball as well. That's something in non-conference play that needs to continue to improve upon, is rebounding the ball, take care of the basketball late in game, and then obviously don't have droughts offensively and come out with more energy and assertiveness to start games. Missouri did not have that in this game.
Pierre into Robinson, caught in the air, tough three by Cotton, short, rebounded by Cruz.
Excellent defensive possession right there. And a nice job by Anthony Robinson to take away the angle of Pierre. They tried to beat him. Pierre's got a significant amount of more strength on Anthony Robinson, but Anthony Robinson just has that Chicago guard toughness to him. It's what I love most about him. He was not going to be denied there. He was not going to give up that driving lane.
Missouri trailed by as many as 4 in the second half. Bates loses it out of bounds and a turnover. The Tigers have just completely turned the tables in the final 8 or 9 minutes of this game.
Yeah, and it's really, I give credit to the staff. Dennis Gates doing a great job of changing up his defense and the look, forcing Jacksonville State to shoot tough contested jumpers and forcing them more of a jump shooting team. That zone was important in that second half for Mizzou to really grow a lead.
Pierre on the offensive glass. No, Mark Mitchell has the rebound, and that will do it. The Missouri Tigers get a scare, but they win their 10th straight game, their longest winning streak in a decade.
Great job from Missouri to close out this homestand. They had multiple games at home. They wanted to take care of their home floor. They beat Kansas in this building, the #1 team in the country. Now they get ready for another rival at Bragging Rights in St. Louis against the Fighting Illini.
That's going to be a monster game. You would think the winner of Missouri and Illinois will likely be ranked, both teams receiving votes. And Mizzou now having won 10 consecutive games. It's really more like 11 years because it was the beginning of the 2013-14 season. The last time Missouri won 10 straight games, that was the final season of Frank Haith in Columbia. Mizzou started that year 10-0, ultimately scuffled in SEC play and did not make the NCAA tournament. But this is a team now for the Tigers, despite being picked 13th in the league in the preseason, that has legitimate NCAA tournament aspirations.
Absolutely, and obviously SEC is going to be a tough league, but the reality is Missouri took care of business in their home court. They have to protect the home turf. This has to be a tough place to play for teams in SEC play. They got to pack this building and take care of the home floor with as tough and competitive as the SEC will be.
Nate Gatter, Jared Sutton with you, and we are joined now by Jacob Cruz, the star of the game for Missouri tonight. And Jacob, I don't want to take anything away from the season you've had. Obviously, this is a deep team and one where the rotation has been in flux, but you haven't been scoring like that too often in a Missouri uniform. What did that feel like in the second half?
You know, words can't describe it. You know, just waiting on your moment, trusting and believing. You know, hard work will pay off, and you know, I got to thank the coaches and my teammates for every practice being on me, making sure I'm getting better.
Obviously, being ready for this moment starts with confidence. Staying confident as a shooter, knowing you're a really good player, you can score the ball and shoot it. Just talk me through leading into this game, your preparation throughout this part of the season to get where you are to have this moment. Do you reflect back on that preparation to get you ready for this?
Absolutely. Just not getting complacent. Not worried about the minutes, not worried about how many shots, what's falling, what's not. Just trusting and believing that the work will pay off.
You guys are getting ready for a big game on Sunday in St. Louis against Illinois. I know it'll be your first taste of bragging rights. What have you heard about it? What are you excited about?
We treat every game. We don't look too far ahead. Even though it's a big game and everybody knows about it. Just pretty much, I know that there's a lot to stake. Kind of like Kansas, but not as hyped. But I know it's there. Just staying ready. Game like this leading into that, it's unbelievable, and I'm going to take the momentum and run with it.
Just one more. You mentioned staying ready. This is a team with so much depth, with so many guys on the bench, where your minutes are going to kind of come and go. How do you stay ready for a moment like this?
Trust. Trust in the way we work and the way we know and understand each one of our games, and understanding, it could be this guy's night or the next one. We're a very close unit, and it shows. We get down in a close game like this with a great team, but just trusting each other and understanding everybody can have their night one night.
Well, Jacob, congratulations. We appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Jacob Cruz, a Missouri career high, far from a career high overall, but he does it in a Tigers uniform when Missouri needed it most in the second